You know what I'm saying? But there's two types of player I've seen in the NFL. There's microwave players and there's oven players. And the thing about it is, it's like, there's some players that you can just pop in the oven, pop in the microwave, and boom, they're ready to go. But then
Yeah,
guess what? They don't a lot of times with microwave food, what happens? You know what I'm saying? It's hot on the outside, but when you start really poking it in the inside, it's still cold. It still has flaws. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But you have some players that are more or less like ovens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they may take a little bit longer, but at the same time, we already know when Big Mama put that cake in the oven, bruh, it hit different. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
tough.
Like, it hit different, man.
Yeah,
So I
I
mean,
feel like my process, like, I'm not mad that my process went the way it went. I'm actually kind of happy so that I learned my mistakes early as I went on in my career. So now that I know how to move, now that I know how to play on the field, know what's coming, know what to react to and what not to react to, it's just a whole bunch of maturing that had to go on, and
Yeah.
I'm happy for it.
mm,
What's up? You embracing the journey, man. We appreciate the focus. But I was thinking like far as the skill set go, which part of the being a corner you highlight the most to yourself? Like, do you like to be in zone more? You like more like bump and run? What
Yeah.
kind of style of coverage you like to play? In phase, out of phase? What's the best that suits you the best?
I'm really uh locked down man to man physical corner, like in your face type of
Oh,
player.
you bump and run actually.
mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that too, because you know, one question. This is a general question, though. This is kind of a general question. This is a question I've been asking kind of all the Cowboys that have come on. That we've had Izzy on here, we've had Robert on here, we had a couple of the guys, and I've all asked them this kind of the same question. Like, you know, when you ask a team to be physical, you asking them to put hands on folks, right? So when you put hands on folks, there's a chance that you're gonna get what caught putting hands on folks.
Right.
Yeah.
So penalties are gonna come. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, like, what was like the mindset, because at the beginning of the season there was, I'm not gonna say a ridiculous amount, but there was an exuberant amount of penalties and things that was going on. You know what I'm saying? What was the mindset that kind of happened like midway through the season where you guys were still very, very physical? You know what I'm saying? But the penalties just kind of diminished like dramatically. What was that conversation like? How did that take place?
I mean, you can see us. We playing hard, so it obviously gonna stand out on film.
Okay.
Like we had conversations with coach about the penalties and all, but we just couldn't like turn down our style of play, so we couldn't let that be an excuse for us losing games or winning games. So we really didn't really too much let that factor into like on the combative plays, like where you there to make a play or something, and then you get a flag. Like we really honed in on like the outsides and shit like that. Like I'm sorry for the curse, but
Oh no, you good.
Nah, you
It's
fine.
uncut.
I cuss people out
It's
on this
not
show all the time. You
it's
good?
not
This uncut. Yeah.
It is
uncut.
uncut cowboy.
but like as you going to make a play, like yeah, sometimes they could be 50-50. So like you can't really be down in the player. But the fans, fans get a little leeway.
Right. So let me ask you this then, man. So, there's a bunch of folks been talking down. What have you improved, in your mind personally from a year to years? Because like I think everybody takes a jump in player progression from one year to
Yeah.
another. So maybe you came in, as a rookie, and the first thing you did was get adjusted to the speed. But year three, what do you think you really took a jump in? Is it maybe like physically, mentally, or what schematic wise you understand the defensive coverage better? What do you believe
Yeah.
it is?
Now I can say I understand the scheme more better now that I took the time and now I'm working with a new coach, Kenny Matthews. He's helping me along the way a lot too. So it's just more comfortable and more trustworthy with who's teaching me and putting me in the position and believing in myself that I can get the job done. This coach asking me without just doing extra and trying to like make a play.
Mm.
You could say.
Okay. Hey, quick
Gotcha.
question, man. We're gonna do a quick question. Hey, make sure everybody hit that share button and that star button, man. We appreciate everybody that's watching. We got over man, between all the platforms, man, we got over 600, like 500 people watching, man. It's a great show, man. Great audience turned out tonight, man. It's a highly anticipated show. Listen to me. I'm gonna tell you, man. We asked the nation like who's the one person they wanted to talk to, man, and you were definitely the number one person everybody wanted to speak to, man. And and I think it's because, man, I think it's just also the new mentality of the Dallas Cowboys, man. And it's like, the old way of Cowboy was really like it was all the shine on the offense, right? You put all the hope in the offense, and then you just hope the defense didn't mess up. You know what I'm saying? But let's just be real, man. No matter what's going on in that offense, no matter who's getting paid and what's going on, we have been going into deep games saying, man, as long as our defense could just, man, if they could just keep us in this game, if they could
Yeah.
just keep us in that game. So it's like, the mentality of the players had to almost kind of change. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the Dallas Cowboys, not only do they draft well when it comes to player skill set, but I think you had to kind of like draft players who actually have that tough mindset because in this NFL, like you said, man, there was a season, I think it was last year, when we played Jamar Chase, you played what's the boy Evans, like every single week it was
Justin
Justin
Jefferson.
Jefferson, like every single week it was like the who's who of wide receivers, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I tell people I love all my guys, but I tell people like this, you can find Deion Sanders getting beat by random dudes. You can, as good as he is, you can find my boy RJ Sauer. He hangs his hat on this. He beat Deion Sanders when he played for the Jags, and Deion Sanders played for the Washington Redskins. He wasn't even wearing 21. I think he was wearing like 37. You know what I'm saying? But that's my boy. Hey, and RJ, I love you, but that's his profile picture. That's my boy profile picture right now to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I do want to ask, what far as the defense will go, who you think like is like the leader, the one that get the troops riled up? Far as like, I know it's some of the obvious ones like Michael Parsons and D Law, but other than them guys, or is it just them? It's okay, but who is the leaders that get the defense like on that next level that they need to be going into game day?
You can say J. Curse,
Mm.
Donovan
Mm.
Wilson, Lathan, Leighton Vander Esch,
Oh, that's a
DA.
surprising one for some people with
Yeah.
Leighton.
I
Yeah.
feel like our whole defense can really step up, like, because they all step up in big moments, not even just big moments, just at practice. We hold each other accountable, like certain way we practice, how we going through walkthroughs, stuff like that. So, but those names who I feel like that are captains, but I feel like everybody on the defense can be a captain in a moment that they're needed to be or called upon.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you this right here. One thing I like about in the situation that you're in, man, is like you possibly about to see the Dallas Cowboys make Trevon Diggs possibly one of the higher paid corners ever. So it's like you know why you have tangible goals right there in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Things that you can actually achieve. Where it's like you don't got to go look on another team. You can look at a guy that was in the exact position that you're in. You know what I'm saying? A guy same round. You know what I'm saying? Who is now about to be enumerated in a position to see that he's one of the best. So I mean, I just think it's I think it's a dope scenario. And I also think that, everything that we go through, it kind of shapes us into the player that we need. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. If you don't know how it is to get it and then lose it and then get it back. You know what I'm saying? This may not be the NFL for you. You know what I'm saying? But one thing I like about you, man, is no matter what is, you keep going forward, man. You definitely keep going forward. Now I want to give you an opportunity, man, and we're not gonna be on here too much longer, but I do want to give you a kind of opportunity to kind of give some of your teammates a little shine, man. I want to know right now, man, out of these I'm gonna name these three receivers real quick, man. And I want to know, what comes to mind when I say, a guy like CeeDee Lamb, playing, practicing with a guy like CeeDee Lamb. Tell me something that comes to mind, that sets him apart from these other receivers that you've seen in the league.
man. Well, he was 88 for a reason.
Mm,
Mm.
All right.
mm,
Yeah,
okay.
he different from a lot of other different NFL receivers. Just playing style, playability.
Okay. Another one.
MG.
I
was
got one
nice.
question I want to sneak in here,
I
man.
was go ahead. Give me talk to me about Michael Gallup.
He
Oh, okay.
catcher rate is just different.
Crazy.
You don't see nobody breaking down those type of catches.
Okay. Another question. I want you to show some love to a wide receiver that ain't really getting no love, but should be getting some love because you practice against him every day.
Yeah, you could say JT. He on the way as we've been going.
Hey, we just had him on the show last week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just had him on the
Man,
show
that boy.
last week. Yeah.
Go ahead, elaborate a little bit, and then we go switch it up. I promise you. Go ahead, elaborate.
yeah. He nice. Just another one like me, underdog, putting it all together, learning the system as we go, and blocking out all the noise and not letting everybody get to.
Hey, I just want to ask this question right here. With you getting a former defensive player of the year in the same room with you, man, I know you probably be picking his brain, but how much has that been helping you just being around Stephon Gilmore like that, like picking his brain on little tips and stuff?
Yeah, like already just a small little conversation that we developing over just him being in the league 12 years and me going into year 3. Like that's just a totally different accomplishment, and I'm blessed to have him in my presence to even learn like just as real life aspects and football aspects because this man is a veteran in the game. He done seen it. Like he done went through all the most stuff I done went through. So it really gonna help me for real. I feel like.
Hey, that's a good point, man. One thing I also love is that acknowledging because sometimes, man, people will have all the tools they need to help whatever they need to build, and they'll be right there, but they don't recognize those tools. You know what I'm saying? So I think being a professional about your craft is understanding the areas that you need to improve in, and then reaching out and getting those tools. And I think acknowledgement is the first. If I promise you, if there is a recipe on how to be great, acknowledgement, I guarantee you, is one of the main recipes and one of the main ingredients because you have to be able to acknowledge. It's like a self inventory, taking a self inventory of the things that you feel that you can improve on, and then just flat out, working on them and getting improving on them. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like that approach. Henny, you have another one? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do have a quick one, man. So I know you said that you been working around. I know you've been playing boundary before. I know that you've done played some slot. So now, what is the difference in preparation for doing both? So like I know it's a different animal being out there on an island than just working in the middle of the field where there's no sideline help or anything. So what's the difference in that, in your opinion?
Well, the difference is just in me. I'm going there basically with the same type of mentality, but in the slot you got to be more physical and bring your pads. You got to make a lot of more tackles in that slot because you got to fit the run. But as far as me lining up in coverage, I'm thinking the same type of mindset. I'm already basically sometimes thinking zero. So it's probably not too much of a difference as my coverage aspect. Probably have a little more chance of being more physical in the slot, you could say. But the biggest difference just be me being able to make plays in the run game for real and in my pass game because I feel like I'm nice in coverage and in the slot. I'm surprised a lot of people because they expecting me from just the outside. Haven't really too much seen.
And I do agree with that about physicality, man. Like you graded out as one of the better tacklers at the cornerback position. So like I do believe in that aspect of your game right there.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna keep it real. Any team any team that is a team that is good at stopping the run. One thing that you're gonna have is their DBs are gonna be willing full tacklers. You know what I'm saying? These are guys that are gonna be willing to come up and make tackles. You know what I'm saying? And our DBs, man, they get for whatever reason, man. Cowboy Nation, man. I don't know. I'm gonna just fight. KJ, we're weird sometime, okay? I'm gonna just tell you right now, we're weird. You know what I'm saying?
We love this team, man.
Yeah, man. Diggs had a career year in tackles, and people, man, Diggs needs to tackle. But what he tackled more last year than he's ever tackled since he's ever been in the NFL. He had a career high last year in tackling. Folks like, man, you need to tackle more. You need to tackle more. You know what I'm saying? But it's like one thing I know about this Cowboy defense, man, is even with Anthony Brown, man, y'all guys are willful tacklers, man. You guys are guys that are going to come up there and you guys are going to try to make those tackles. And I think that's the number one thing that we got to do. I have these hats to run the damn ball, and I also got another hat called stop the damn run. And one of the things that, in order for us to be a good defense, it has to be willing for all players involved. You know what I'm saying? And I absolutely love that about you. You know what I'm saying? Henny, I know you had one more question before we get up out of here, my guy.
Oh, I actually was going to read this for you, KJ. They sent me a $5 super chat. They said, KJ, show out this year. We rooting for you, and that's the sentiment, man. We are rooting for you, man. We hope nothing but success, and good things for you moving forward.
I got y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Cowboy Nation, man.
Hey, shout out to my boy Mac. My boy Mac says I'm rooting for number one, man. Hey, I appreciate you, Mac. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to a couple other guys that showing a whole lot of love, man. Showing a whole lot of love. And to be honest with you, man, that's kind of like what we like doing here, man, because we understand in media, if I had two videos, I had a video of a guy helping a guy, up off the street because he fell, it'll probably get 50 views. But if I had that same guy setting that same guy on fire, it's gonna have 1 million views, bruh. People will sit around and watch you burn all day. You know what I'm saying? But when you're actually doing things, you're actually doing positive things and trying to, not even trying, but you're actually putting yourself in the right direction. Those things don't always get highlighted, man. And we want to make sure that here over at West Coast Cowboy, Landlord Sports, and at HTM Sports that we show those things and we appreciate those things, because I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like I said, I don't want to have to go through the whole story, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. Mr. KJ was the answer to some of our prayers with about 1 minute and 47 seconds left.
Yeah. That was big time right there.
That was huge, bro. Like that was my mama, bro. My mama, man. But
I got one last question before we wrap it up. Just one last question.
I had a segue question, though, man.
It's gonna be real quick.
And this is, I just want you to kind of just talk to the nation, man, because I think sometimes the nation kind of thinks that you guys just lose these games and then the season's over and then you guys get on big yachts and just sail into the Oasis and the season's over and we start all over, man. I want to know, KJ, what is it like losing a playoff game, bro?
It hurt for real.
Yeah.
You miss out on a lot. The ring, the money, the experience. So it really hurt for real, like to us, probably more than y'all. Like,
I see that. I like that. Go ahead, landlord.
I was just finna say, man, us as, like athletes, they usually try to, set short-term and long-term goals. So like where you see yourself in the next few years, like where you trying to go as far as like your position and your impact on this football team?
Only way is up for me.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I say I'm not happy that I'm in this position, but only way I can go is up. Y'all put me at the bottom. I can show y'all I can get to the top.
All right. Yes, sir. You ready for the challenge, sound like.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, man, well, I'm gonna let you know this right now, man. Well, shoot, you ain't at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You about halfway, you know what I'm saying? Because your talent shows, man, that you are where you are supposed to be. I believe this. A man's talent will make room for him. You know what I'm saying? Your talent and your hard work, I don't give a damn nobody say. Your talent and hard work have put you exactly where you are right now.
I believe in God too, bro.
I heard
that. Man.
That's the biggest thing of it all, bro.
What Dursky say, keep God in your life. I ain't gonna say that in the rest of the part. They say keep God in your life.
Hey, but not for real talk though, man. They already giving you glowing reviews from OTAs, man. They say you out there balling, making plays. They had a whole little report on it. Then landlord, what was that article you read about surprise breakout performances in OTA?
They said you come in the camp like you got a chip on your shoulder, man. We're excited to hear that, man. I told you I feel that competitive nature, man. Cause I go back to that all the time. I say, it seems like I know players I know players that'll go tuck their tail and be sad and don't go back and compete. after they get a little obstacle in their way. And I admire that you didn't do that. So, speak to that. They say you had a chip on your shoulder coming in the camp. So what's up with that?
Gotcha.
Yeah, talk to me about that.
Shit. I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna keep it on my shoulder for real.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make everybody feel it for real. And
All
show 'em.
right. So they gonna feel me. I like that.
Well, hey man, I appreciate you for coming on here. Say, man, we are going to be at training camp, and I'm gonna be the dude screaming your name like I know you. You feel me? So you hear my name, don't be trying to act like you don't know me, man.
I got y'all.
We all gonna be there. We gonna be saluting to you.
We all gonna be there, man. Because
Yeah, brother.
training camp Baptist is gonna be lit. They're gonna be lit. And I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be lit this year.
Yes,
I
sir.
heard it's gonna be lit. Well, hey man, I appreciate you for stopping by, man, and giving us an opportunity to talk to you today, man. And man, hey, you have yourself a great rest of the month. And then when training camp comes, I'll see you in Oxnard, my guy.
All right, thank y'all, bro.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Hey, anytime, man. Thank you,
Ah, you
brother.
be
Have a
blessed.
good year, man.
All right.
All right, man. That was
Alright,
Dallas
sir.
Cowboys cornerback Kelvin Joseph, wearing number Dallas Cowboy #1. And
He
shout
got one of the coldest numbers too. We forgot
Yeah,
to say
he
he got a cold number, man.
Yeah,
Number
he
one
do.
cold, bro.
Mhm.
Yeah, he do.
That number one cold. He got to show up on that one, man. I
All right,
can't
man.
wait to see that one.
Hey, thoughts, man. Thoughts. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about what are y'all thoughts of the interview? What are y'all thoughts on some of the content that he gave, man? Right out the gate, man. I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. He sounds like a guy who has heard everything we've been saying. So
Yeah.
We know
He tapped in with the community, ain't he?
He's definitely tapped
I mean,
in.
I mean, cuz shared our video, so I know he know, but at the same time, I'm glad to hear, that he's been making strides. What I'm saying, like, and listen, that coincides what they've been saying. They've been saying that he's been having amazing OTA so far. He's been talking about putting in the work, keeping his head down and working, progressing, and and it's so far it showed up in the way that they said he's been playing, in these OTAs. So, I just hope that he gets the opportunity wherever it is on the field to make an impact on the team. And, like, listen, I was critical of his play, but, like, this is a new day and time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he barely plays, so I'm going to treat him like we treat Jalen Tolbert. You don't get on the field that much, I'm just going to chop it up to that. So, you need reps, you need experience, and, like, it takes a little bit of time to get to where you're going. Sometimes where you're going is up the street and around the corner. Sometimes it's in a different state.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
like
So
you said,
it's all about the journey. It's all about the
just
journey.
like you said, man, you cannot really define the DB by, like, you know what I'm saying, getting beat, bro. Because, like, every DB gets beat, bro. Every DB gets cooked. I'm a wide receiver. I tell you that. Like, hey, we gonna cook anybody who get in front of us. Even the best ones, the Hall of Famers, everybody gets cooked. So I wouldn't say that's a good way to, judge a player, especially a DB. Like that confidence level, that's what kind of remains seen when you talk to him. At least he still got his confidence. He's not wavering from it. It sounds like he want to prove everybody wrong. You know what I'm saying? I like that energy from him. And confidence is like one of the biggest attributes for a DB. When you lose confidence, and West Coast, you played DB, so I know you know. Like, when you get caught on, you can't hang your hat. You got to get back up, get back on the horse, and try again.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this right here. DBs are always going to be measured by how they come back, not by what they do initially, because it's a reactionary position, man.
Yeah.
Like it's a reactionary position. It's a position where it's like you're always going to be reacting off of what someone else does, and that's why I gave the example of my boy RJ Sauer out of USC. Like, he caught Deion Sanders slipping, but it's like, bruh, like, Trevon, I used him as an example because I didn't want to use Trevon Diggs. He caught slipping. But it's like, that's just what it is as a corner, man. Like, there's not a cornerback in the NFL that has never given up that goes 0 touchdowns given up or 0 plays. Like, that's just, like, catches are gonna happen. But the cornerback is so much that your greatness in the cornerback position is always going to be about how good you are on play number 2. You know what I'm saying? Because play number 1, you may not have seen that, but play number 2, they coming right back at you. Can you make that play? You know what I'm saying? And one thing I like about Kelvin Joseph is, man, listen to me. Kelvin Joseph ain't no chump either, bro. He got on here.
Up.
Like, he's got on, like, listen, man, there was no excuses given. There was no There was no, they was hating him. Nah, none of that, bruh. All I heard
He
was
ain't blame nobody but
he
himself.
didn't blame nobody but himself, bruh.
And
And
he
I love
said a lot of maturing to do. That's one thing he said too. He spoke on maturity a lot. And I think that's accountability. That's exactly what that is. Him saying that it was a lot of growth and a lot of maturity to do, that speaks like that's a great indication for a young man. Like a man, I feel like a man can't be nothing without accountability. Like men need
Facts.
accountability, bro. Like, and I can't speak for nobody else, but men need it because the world gonna show you if you don't get it right away. You know what I'm saying? So with him not making excuses for nothing, saying straight up that I needed to mature, he said that several times, and there was a lot of learning that he needed to do, and that's probably the first step forward for him becoming the player that we hoped he'd be.
Yeah, he mentioned maturity a couple times, man. You know what I'm saying? Like we been forgetting this kid is
He's
young, man. He
23
only
years
23
old.
years
Yeah.
old. Yeah, so yeah, I got a stepson older than that. So
Yeah.
man. So he's young. He's gonna make mistakes. He's going to need time to develop into a player. That you can put out there. But like he got talent. You don't become a second round pick. Just off of a whim. You know what I'm saying? Like he got athletic ability. Man, like 6 foot running
4-3. Yeah.
4-3. Played in the SEC against dominant players. Shut down a Heisman Trophy winner.
So,
Shut down Kyle Pitts, who was a first down pick. That man got a good resume coming out. So we just gotta see him get on the field at this point, man. But we gotta give him the time. Like I said, everything can't be a microwave kind of reaction.
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, and I mean, and like I said, I'm gonna stay with the accountability. The number one thing I loved about the interview was accountability. I heard a
Yeah.
young man taking accountability for his actions, and I heard a young man taking accountability for owning his future. You know what I'm saying? Not putting it to chance. Not, you know what I'm saying, this, like what he said about, talking to Gilmore. You know what I'm saying? I liked all that. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that, he understands that this is his opportunity. You know what I'm saying? And I also like the fact that he got a little, he not running around here trying to act like he think everybody just loving on him, because he understands that the fire is on him. That's what he said,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Like he said, y'all didn't put me down.
He
Like,
said, I'm at the bottom. He said, hey, well, I can't go nowhere but up. I like
go
that. I
nowhere else.
like that attitude, man.
I like
I
that
like
too.
that attitude because, hey, that showed me he got some fight in him. You know what I'm saying? He got some fight in him. That boy ain't no coward. And I like that. You know what I'm saying? This a tough business to be in, especially for a 23-year-old kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people understand that. Just imagine, I ain't gonna lie, bro. When I was 23, I was very nefarious. So if
You didn't have and you
look,
didn't have $2-3 million.
I was just about to say, put a couple million in my 23-year-old hands, bro. I ain't no telling what I would have been doing.
And a
So,
camera everywhere you go.
yeah, and they following me around, bro. I probably would have been got counseled and put out the league. So, I mean, I don't think people understand how young these players is. Of course, they getting paid to do a job, but everybody don't mature at the same level or at the same pace. So I think y'all might need to, you know what I'm saying, give some of these young men a little grace, man, because it's not as easy as it might seem. You know what I'm saying? I got a son now, and it's not easy raising a son. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, it just matters. Like, you have to see what happens and give them the best advice, and hopefully they can capitalize on what you tell them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And yeah, man, listen, like the expectations, what I'm saying, like he didn't ask for those expectations, that like he came in as a second round pick for the Dallas Cowboys. And like he said, like you have pressure coming into the league, but when you play for the Cowboys and everybody watching your moves, you play in all these different primetime games, like you're in front of more people. If he was a second round pick on a team that nobody gave a damn about, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. You know what I'm saying? He would have the time to develop, into the player that he can be in peace.
Hey, we got some malarkey going on in the chat. That boy got swiped out.
Disregard it.
Yeah,
Disregard it.
Came back.
Like they
Oh,
don't
yeah, go ahead,
exist.
go ahead.
They're figments of the imagination. But yeah, go ahead, Landon.
oh man. I just was saying, man. And then one thing we got to give him credit for. He didn't tuck his tail either. He didn't run away from this. Like, some people would have been like, no, I'm not doing the interview. Cause like, y'all, how many good things y'all done had to say about him? To be honest. You know what I'm saying? He could have been like, man, screw that. I ain't finna talk to them folk. He could have just took whatever y'all gave him. he manned up and faced the interview and didn't run away from it. So I got respect for the young man, man. I'm rooting for him. Especially as long as he got a star on his head, man. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell
Indeed.
you, like, there was a I was talking about I wanted to talk about the San Francisco 49er play because I think what he said was kind of epic, bro. He was like, man, you heard what he said. He was like, I can't get the ball back on defense. You know what I'm saying? And something that I love that he said is, man, my coach. He said, I listened to my coach. He said, my coach told me on film. See, a lot of time I think we just think these dudes aren't really doing what they're supposed to be doing, man. And these guys are, bruh. He just told you right now he made a play. Why? Because he listened to his coach and he was where his coach told him to be. You know what that is? Man, that's a coach that'll never give up on they'll never give on. They'll never give up. As long as you have that trait, they'll never give up on you.
Cause Wes, you didn't coach before. I about to say
you.
you didn't coach before. You know how difficult it is. You'll take a less talented kid over a kid that don't listen. Know what I'm saying?
Any
A
day.
kid, you will take a less talented kid. I had to tell my son, I'm like, bro, listen, you gotta be able to listen to your coaches. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lesson I make sure I let him learn. I've coached before. Like, I don't want to be sitting up here arguing with somebody and I'm trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to realize that some of these coaches are taking time out their day just to help you. Everybody's not compensated for this type of stuff either. Like, and I'm just speaking on all levels, but you do need to realize the importance of coaching. Like, it's not an easy job. It's really not. It's hard to deal with these kids. We all have kids, and we get frustrated at them. So just imagine trying to coach up somebody else's kids. It's not an easy job. So being coachable is a great attribute.
Man, he really bigged up. Man, he really took the time out. Said, yeah, he got with a new coach. I forget the gentleman's name, but he spoke very glowing of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. I also loved. He gave us some insight on that show, right?
He did.
Mm-hmm.
He told us that he's playing slot. Basically, it wasn't no safety. It was slot.
He didn't even speak on safety much when you asked him, did he?
Nope. He's playing. They're coaching him to play slot. So that makes me wonder, what are they doing with Deron Bland? Because Deron Bland plays slot.
Deron got that job on lock. That would it sound like to me.
Saying, or maybe they think they're gonna have a time. But I'm gonna tell you something else that he gave us. If you're a fantasy football player, I would probably put Jalen Tolbert on my bench somewhere. I'm not saying he's gonna go off, but if I had to pick Cowboys receivers, Jalen Tolbert about to go off. Bro.
Did you hear? Did he gave Jalen his props? Didn't he, bro?
He said
about 700.
He said it quick, bro.
He said Jalen Tolbert. He said JT. hey.
TFO said J. Lou play slot. I'm not gonna speak
on J. Lou. Not even J. Lou.
Is he a free? He still got a year left.
No, he
still got
a year left.
Cut him. I save him. I think they're gonna cut him, bro. I think they're gonna cut him, and I think they're gonna cut him right before June 1st.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this is because somebody asked me about the Jordan Lewis contract. It doesn't matter when you cut him or trade him; it's going to be all the same money. So theoretically, if you wanted to hold on to J. Lou until he had a higher trade value, let's say somebody goes down in the closer to the trade deadline, he would have more value trading him then. Because regardless if you cut him now or cut him later or trade him now, trade him later, it's still going to be the same $4.7 million that you saved. So theoretically, if you wanted to up your
shout
price,
out Macho Boomin.
Oh well, yeah! Shout out to Mucho Boomin.
We get time.
So, yeah,
man. I missed a few supers, man. I wanna. If not, I'll just read them on my next show tomorrow or something. But
no, you're good. I'm gonna finish this train of thought. I'm finish this train of thought. Then I'll let you get to it. So So if you theoretically you wanted to try to get something back for J. Lou, just not flat out cut him. You really got up to the trade deadline because it doesn't matter when you move on from him because we already crunched the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then guess what, fellas? Guess what?
What's up?
I got a surprise. I got a surprise.
Sir?
Let me see. I got a surprise, man, because I know the world is probably wondering
what we gonna do next. What we gonna do next?
What's gonna be next? What's brother West Coast? Who's next?
Tell me. We need to know.
Tell y'all who's next. For all the folks who stayed around, I told you I had a special announcement at the end, man. We got our next week's interview already ready, lined up. I already talked to him on the phone because that's how we do it around here. You feel me? We chop it up on the phone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hey, shout out to
You know what I'm
Boogie,
saying?
man.
We call Dallas players, Cowboys players on the phone. We call them up. Yeah, that's what we do.
They got them on deck like that.
Just got them on deck like that. You know what I'm saying?
That uncut type.
I want to know,
style.
man. I want to know, man. Put it in the comment box.
Who it is?
Who do you